First tonight, expansion plans are in the works for the Grand Bahama International Airport. This from the aviation minister, as he says discussions are underway with Sunwing and WestJet for additional airlift to the island. Plus, work underway at schools across the islands. The education minister confirming that it's a very aggressive agenda and all hands are on deck to get the work completed. And later, celebrating 40 years of diplomatic relations with the Republic of Korea. In preparation of the major milestone, Korean performers showcased traditional song and dance at the Mall Marathon. We have the details for these stories and so much more as Our News Weekend starts now. This is Our News Weekend. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. The Ministry of Tourism's mission trip to Canada is officially over, but the work back at home continues. While there, the Tourism Investments and Aviation Minister Chester Cooper announced 10 additional flights out of their various provinces. Now, while on the ground in Canada, our Jerome Sawyer pressed the DPM about updates for the Grand Bahama International Airport, as that facility has been in desperate need of a major redevelopment and expansion for the past 5 years.
Grand Bahama has a deal on its airport already. One of the things we discussed with Sunwing Vacations today and WestJet is additional lift into Grand Bahama. They did have a concern about taking increasingly more lift into Grand Bahama given the current state, and I believe I was able to reassure them that brighter days are ahead.
Despite those concerns expressed by Sunwing, Cooper remains hopeful. He says residents can expect shovels in the ground soon.
Expansion plans are in the works all across the islands of the Bahamas. For Grand Bahama, you will see vertical construction real soon on new terminals. Sunwing is already aware that we renovated the old domestic terminal some time ago. It's in really good condition and it's very functional. And we assured them that they, in fact, will be able to land 2 flights at the same time. But moving forward, we're not stopped working. This is going to be steady work until the job gets done. And I assure the Bahamian people that we're going to continue to press on until the last nail knock, as they say.
With the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season in full swing, disaster preparedness is on the agenda. In Grand Bahama, a 2-day shelter management training was held this week at the Harold de Gregory Complex. Participants included representatives from Urban Renewal, Social Services, the Red Cross, local government, and the Ministry for Grand Bahama. Tammy Mitchell of the Disaster Management Unit at the Ministry for Grand Bahama says the goal is to ensure shelter managers are fully equipped to respond if government activates shelters during a storm.
We're starting from the shelters, we're going into administration, we're going into operations, we're going into problem solving, all of what it entails to be active when a shelter is called for use. And we have persons from Urban Renewal, we have persons from Social Services, we have persons from of course, the Ministry for Grand Bahama, and also from local government who are here today attending this session.
Mitchell says this is just the first of several trainings planned this hurricane season. And Social Services, the agency responsible for those inside the shelter, says thinking quickly is key. Chief Welfare Officer Pauline Forbes explains what goes into choosing the right location for a shelter.
When you're considering a shelter, you look at what you have access to make it a shelter. So even though I identified the room, one of the first things you're going to say, okay, we're going to use this room. Where's your bathroom? Where's your this? Where's your kitchen? Where's your... That is all part of it. And it's all within the building. Right. Now, what you have to do is work on having access to those areas. When the radio is down, the phone is down, and you can't get through, you have to put on your thinking caps. And you have to resolve the problem to the best of your ability.
While schools across the country are officially closed for the summer break, but the work continues. Education Minister Glenys Hannah Martin says the ball has begun rolling for school repairs across the islands. Some of the infrastructure within the various schools across the island has been around for quite some time and requires upgrades and repairs. Hannah Martin telling reporters this week that while there isn't a lot of time, the plan is to address issues on a number of islands.
the wheels are moving now for school repairs. It's a very short window. We're looking at classroom block construction in Agua, San Salvador, Cat Island, Abaco, and so it's very aggressive agenda, and so all hands on deck, no vacation for nobody. We got to keep working to make sure we meet these timelines.
Meantime, police on Grand Bahama are investigating an attempted suicide that occurred at a business off Grand Bahama Highway on Saturday. Officers arrived on scene and met an individual administering CPR to an unresponsive male. According to reports, shortly before 11:50 p.m., an employee discovered the man unresponsive on the property. He was reportedly found hanging from a tree with an object around his neck. He was immediately removed and CPR was administered. EMS took the man to the hospital where he remains under medical care. And two men ages 36 and 34 arrested in Inagua yesterday after police discovered 1 kilogram of suspected cocaine. According to reports, officers from the Drug Enforcement Unit and the Matthewtown Police Station executed a search warrant at a business shortly after 8 p.m. That's when they discovered the suspected cocaine. The men were taken to custody and are assisting with the investigation. The estimated street value is said to be $20,000. While Atlanta's Paradise Island Resort has transformed into a hub of aviation expertise as the Association of Caribbean Aviation Handlers celebrates its 20th anniversary in the Bahamas. Over 100 delegates from the Caribbean, Latin America, and the U.S. are in attendance discussing innovations in passenger services, ground handling, and airport operations. Director of Aviation Dr. Kenneth Roma says this gathering is not only a milestone for the association, but a chance for the Bahamas to demonstrate why it's considered a regional leader in aviation management.
So what this conference has done is it actually brought together airline handlers from across the region. So they're coming from as far away as Eastern Caribbean, Jamaica. You see Latin, Central America are here. The U.S. are here. Some of the manufacturers, those who deal with equipment. And we brought together some of the leaders and the shakers in the industry. But they're coming here not just for beauty as a country on their 20th anniversary, but they're coming here because the Bahamas has modeled what best practices look like in terms of aviation, in terms of airline handling, in terms of how we manage, again, the aviation ecosystem.
Roma adds that the economic impact is already being felt as delegates and their families fill hotels, restaurants, and attractions, generating spending that directly benefits local entrepreneurs and workers. He notes that events like this conference not only showcase the country's capabilities, but also lay the groundwork for future business deals and airlift expansion.
So I think this is a good test for us to speak about what airlift would look like for the remainder of the year. The Bahamas are certainly among the regional leaders when it comes to its post-pandemic airlift recovery. Again, the region as a whole would assess, well, full recovery might happen maybe at the end of 2025. The Bahamas has succeeded that about 2 years in advance. But we're aggressively going after new markets. Deputy Prime Minister just announced yesterday we're expecting new airlift from Canada. We have been intensifying our presence in our existing key source markets.
When Our News Weekend comes back from the break, we may be a few weeks out from the opening of the Spiny lobster season, but one award-winning chef is already preparing unique ways to serve up the delicacy. The details right after this quick break.
Family, how you look so down? Set up all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that running nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set them all can deal with that fast, yeah. Try set them all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try set them all cold and flu and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
The local Spiny lobster season officially opens on August 1st, and to mark the start of one of the most looked forward to seasons, a homegrown Emmy Award-winning chef is hosting a unique event promising bold and creative ways to serve the delectable dish. Our Danielle Miller reports.
You know, one of the things that we do is we underutilize lobster, and we want to teach sustainability here. So all the chefs have been mandated, you can use lobster, but you also have to use the whole lobster. You have to use the heads.
That's Emmy Award-winning chef Simeon Hall Jr. The culinary cultural connoisseur is preparing for his latest foray titled Pair to Table. Scheduled for August 2nd, the Bahamian dining experience will be held against the scenic backdrop of Fort Montague and will honor what we harvest from the sea, the Bahamian Spiny lobster. Along with Chef Hall, the event will feature the diverse flavors of 5 additional chefs, both local and international. Their challenge is to highlight the various possibilities in which lobster can be prepared and served.
Anybody who knows me knows that I don't reveal menus too far ahead. But I can say that I'm responsible for something, and one of the things that I'm responsible for is I'm baking bread in tin cans. So it's a tin can bread. And so I'm super excited to show everybody that process and how delicious that is. I don't want to speak for the other chefs, but as I said, it's all about the local flavors of lobster. And then for dessert, our master chef Angel, he's planning on doing something that will complement that. And don't be scared. Ain't no lobster in the dessert, but it's going to be delicious.
This multi-course tasting menu will include custom cocktails, wines, and unique tales from the sea. He says the event is a collaboration amongst chefs who share this common goal.
We have a purpose, and that purpose is to get Bahamian food culture out to the masses.
Tickets will be available for purchase on July 1st at eventbrite.com. Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
Thanks so much, Danielle. Still to come on Our News Weekend, merging Bahamian and Latin cuisine. The Hispanic Restaurant Association and Bahamas Baptist University College hosting a unique culinary event at Arawak Key recently. We have the recap, but first...
Coming up in sports, national team standout Franco Miller looks back at a successful rookie season, and we recap community outreach efforts on the basketball court and the softball diamond.
Family, how you look so down? Set up all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that running nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set up all can deal with that fast, yeah. Try set up all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try Cetamol, cold and flu, and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
Welcome to Our Sports Weekend, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Martinut. Let's do show. Franco Miller Jr. enjoyed a breakout rookie season of pro basketball and continues to make an impact both locally and abroad. Miller's first season with the FIBWI Palma in Spain's FEB Second League led to the team's promotion. He averaged 12.4 points, 3.8 boards, and 3 assists per game.
I think it's definitely a blessing for sure, just being a part of that journey and being a part of the Spain culture and learning the game and, just representing for the Bahamas in that manner was definitely something that was a blessing for sure. So winning the league was definitely one of the top moments in my career for sure.
At the national team level, Miller was instrumental in the Bahamas' run toward the Olympics that fell just one win short. Locally, he also played a role in organizing the Beyond the Buzzer Showcase, an event celebrating emerging international basketball talent, both from New Providence and Grand Bahama.
Basically, the Beyond the Buzzer game was just a way for players like myself and professional players to come together and do something for the community. I think that game is definitely something that I see in the long run as being something that grows and becomes very big. Freeport versus Nassau and Ireland was always something that's big, so it was pretty big for them to come out and just get the community out to compete and play against each other.
Over 80 young athletes are sharpening their skills this week at the St. George's Gymnasium in Grand Bahama at the City of Freeport Council's basketball camp led by national team coach Jay Philippe. Held daily until July 4th, this free program draws a diverse group of local boys and girls ages 7 to 17, working under certified trainers to master fundamentals like dribbling, passing, shooting, and team defense. Philippe, who also coaches the Sunland Baptist senior boys, says he's thrilled by the turnout and talent, noting the camp builds on Grand Bahama's legacy of producing stars like Buddy Hield and Jonquil Jones, opening doors for the next generation.
This is something I've been doing for the past 13 years. Over the past 3 years, the Freeport City Council has partnered with me and Coach Bonnie Basin and Coach Marco Cooper to host the Freeport City Council basketball camp. So we're excited. For me, I've been doing this for 13 years now, and it means so much to me to be able to come back and give to the community Basketball was something that saved my life, that helped me throughout university and helped me to play for the junior national program, and now as a junior national head coach. So I'm just so excited about the opportunity.
The inaugural Queens in Paradise softball series added a community outreach element, adding to the game played between the lines. The series, hosted by Don't Blink Sports Entertainment in partnership with Be For Real Entertainment, brought top-tier women's professional fast pitch to Nassau, but also helped to inspire future generations of players. The Atlanta Smoke and Orlando Monarchs had a 3-game showdown on the field, but also hosted a free youth softball clinic for girls aged 7 to 17. Through the event, both organizations hope that the Queens of Paradise mirrors the impact of the Home Run Derby for young men and reignites the Bahamas' legacy in women's softball. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. We talked a lot of camps today. Never know when the next VJ Edge camp might be at one of those.
Yeah, we're 1 for 1 when picking a specific kid for a specific camp.
More than you know, we might be like 5 or 6. Back to the studio.
Thanks so much, guys. Well, drowning remains in the top 5 causes of unintended injury-related death from birth to 54 years old. A 2023 report by software company MySwimPro notes that over 4 billion people worldwide cannot swim. Alarming statistics like these are the driving force for the globally recognized event, World's Largest Swim Lesson, which took place on Thursday. For the past 8 years, Atlantis Paradise Island has been one of the local partners, hosting numerous youth programs at Aqua Venture Water Park. Director of the park, Jamal Kemp, says persons that participate are taught basic swimming techniques and water safety. Kids from the Urban Renewal Program were this year's special guests.
This is actually our largest amount of kids that took part in the event. We have over 100 kids from the Urban Renewal Program being a part here today. We're very excited to bring knowledge to all these kids.
Minister of State for the Ministry of Housing and Urban Renewal, Lisa Raming, joined the group in their aquatic activities. She expressed her excitement for the kids, adding, knowing how to swim is a skill that no Bahamian should take for granted.
When they invited us, I just thought it was such an amazing opportunity for the urban kids, because you know that we live in an archipelago surrounded by water, and of course you know that our islands are always stricken by hurricanes, and we've seen during Dorian and other hurricanes that many persons have lost their lives, and it is my belief that many of them, their lives may have been saved if they only knew how to swim. And I believe that the best time to learn how to swim is at the tender age.
All right, great initiative. On the other side of this break, meteorologist Ian McKenzie joins us from the Weather Center. He's got a look at temperatures for your week ahead. Stick with us. Welcome back and thanks for sticking with us. It's time now for a look at temperatures across the country with meteorologist Ian McKenzie. Ian.
Thanks, Megan, and good evening, Bahamas. Welcome to your Sunday wind-down forecast. Still a gorgeous day on the outside, so get out, continue to do stuff. We have partly sunny skies, 83 degrees, feels like at 92. Winds are from the east at 9 miles per hour. Temperatures across the country at this time, we have 84 in Freeport as well as Allenstown, 82s in Nicholstown and in Marsh Harbor, 83 in Great Harbor and the capital, 82 also in Governor's Harbor. Central Bahamas, 83s in Camps Bay, Arthurstown, Coburn Town, Port Nelson, Deadman's Key, Long Island, 82 in Black Point and 84 in Georgetown, Exuma. Southeast Bahamas continue with those 83s in Duncantown and Delectable Bay, 84s in Colonel Hill, Abrahams Bay, Mayaguana, 79 the cool spot in Providenciales, Turks and Caicos, and 85 the hot spot in Matthewtown, Inagua. Satellite and radar composite at this time. We have some cloudiness. This is all associated with an upper level low across us. Not much in terms of shower activity tonight, but we do expect an uptick tomorrow through Tuesday. Tracking the tropics at this time, yes, yesterday we expected this area of concern to pretty much be on the high end, but it We didn't expect it to form until it reached into the eastern Pacific, but we have Barry out there expected to brush against southeast Mexico area and continue to generate heavy rainfall and possibly mudslides across that area and even portions of southern Texas. Elsewhere, tropical cyclone formation across the Atlantic basin is not expected through 7 days, but there is an area of concern that we want to continue to monitor over the next 7 days, and that is right in our backyard over the southeastern portion of the U.S. So residents, if you're traveling anywhere in Florida, you want to pay particular attention to the development of that system. Boating forecasts across the northwest and central Bahamas. Winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knot, seas running 2 to 4 feet. High tide at 12:02 a.m. tomorrow morning. Low tide at 6:32 a.m. as well. Southeast Bahamas winds slightly stronger. We have a caution in place for you boaters, and there's a risk of rip currents for you swimmers. Winds east to southeast 15 to 20 knot, seas running 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. Here's a look now at your extended forecast when we do expect an uptick in moisture courtesy of that upper level low will stream in some moisture across our area. Fizzle out Tuesday. Wednesday we expect more drying conditions courtesy of another round of Saharan dust. Expect those temperatures to continue to soar throughout the week, so stay hydrated. Those 90s will be here for a while during the daytime, and at nighttime the upper 70s, low 80s. That's a wrap in the evening forecast. Make it a safe, great, fun week, everyone.
Thanks so much, Ian. Well, 40 years ago, the Bahamas established diplomatic relations with South Korea on July 8th. In the upcoming days leading up to the historic event, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Korean Embassy have planned several events in commemoration of the day. On Saturday, hundreds of locals were given a glimpse into the rich history of Korea as at the Mullet Marathon came alive with the sights and sounds of traditional Korean music and dance. One of the performers, Young Sung-jo, with the assistance of a translator, tells us more.
한국말로 얘기해도 되죠? 이번 무대는 저희가 사물놀이.
The performance that they did today was called 사물놀이. They used 4 instruments, a buk, 장구, jing, and 꽹가리. The next performance that they're going to use is with this hat called 상모, and they're going to spin it around and show the performance that way.
상모라고 하거든요. 요거를 돌리면서
Sung-jo says in recent years, Korea has gained a spotlight in the global entertainment industry. However, this showcase serves as a gateway to expose audiences in the Bahamas to the ancestral customs of Korea.
Right now, K-pop and K-dramas are very popular around the world. So rather than just showing one side of Korean culture, they're going ahead and showing a more natural, more cultural side of Korea by showing this kind of performance.
Well, it was also a mix of cultures and flavors at Arawaki over the past weekend as guests from Colorado brought a taste of Hispanic culture infused with Bahamian flavors. Our Danielle Miller was there and tells us more.
The Bahamas Baptist University College collaborating with the Hispanic Restaurant Association of Colorado to host a pulled pork festival on Arawaki. The event, featuring dozens of local vendors, was a display of Bahamian and Hispanic food and culture. President of the Hispanic Restaurant Association, John Jaramitos, told me their goal is to bring culinary excellence through Latin cuisine to the Bahamian culture and showcase great Bahamian food to the Latin culture. This led to the partnership with the Bahamas Baptist University College, where they established classes to foster this objective.
We wanted to bring our knowledge, our skill sets to the Bahamas and train the future generations like you see to my left and right.
The highlight of the festival was the pulled pork cooking competition, where 3 chefs were challenged to blend Bahamian and Hispanic flavors to see who could make the best pulled pork. Culinary director for the Hispanic Restaurant Association, Chef Pablo Aya, was one of the judges. He says although he's from a different country, the flavors of the island are all too familiar.
I've been in the island for 3 days. It feels like home. And it feels like home because I'm also from the Caribbean. So we share ingredients.
Jaramillo says he hopes this event becomes an annual staple, establishing connections in the local community.
The end goal is to deepen and broaden our relationship with the culinary business community here in the Bahamas, and also develop a long-term relationship with BBC and establish a culinary school.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
Thanks so much, Danielle. And with that, we thank you for joining us for our News Weekend. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepherd. Have a safe and wonderful evening. Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Just click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you stay up to date with content like this from the team you already trust.